Thanks. Thank you all for coming. Before going deep into the contents of the talk, I would like to talk about first about Zentyal itself, because you know that this first protocol Plugfest in Europe is organized by Zentyal. So far, I only hear about Microsoft, which is perfectly okay, because we are really glad that Microsoft is here, but so far in our talks and so, nobody has talked about Zentyal. So first, a question for you. Anyone doesn't know what Zentyal is? Raise your hands, don't be shy. Okay, one hand there, one hand there. No, the Zentyal guys can intervene here. Okay, so I assume the rest of you all know about Zentyal. So any volunteer to explain what Zentyal is? Between the ones that have not raised their hands. You? Yeah. You know what Zentyal is? Okay, so you know the name. Ah, beta viewers people. Ah, very nice. Yeah, very good events. Okay, so you have heard about us, but no.
I just heard about you, just and very surprised. I don't have that deep knowledge about you, so that's it.
Okay, but any idea if you will have to find us in?
It's just about administration and the systems. That's a very little that I've been commented.
Yeah, you're right. It's not about video games, not about pornography. So you are in the yeah, you are very near. and in fact, that was the beginning. So let me tell you this short. I'm fine here, but then I can see the screen. Wait. Okay, so yes. Zentyal was founded in 2008, so a lot of years ago already. And there is the funny thing, because you may seen yesterday in the keynotes this thing about Microsoft Steve Ballmer saying that Linux is a cancer. Of course, also in the Linux war, there was Microsoft was also seen as like an enemy. And the funny thing is that Zentyal started like a replacement for Windows Small Business Server. So we were trying to kind of compete, with our scarce resources, but trying to make have a question? A small business server. No, I think now it's called Essentials or something like that. This branding is changing, but yeah, small business server. All the basic features like gateway firewall. Also, not only with server itself, also with some products like Forefront, with HTTP proxy and things like that. So yeah, that was our first goal. We have changed it, so maybe wasn't so easy. But this started to change like I think was like 3 years ago when we released Zentyal 3.0, and we integrated Samba 4. Samba project? Samba project is the implementation for these Microsoft protocols, SMB and so. And with the 4 version, it came with Active Directory compatibility. So before that, we were very focused on Linux clients, like we were doing most of the testing for the proxy with also Linux clients and so. And then we had the chance to join to an existing Active Directory domain as an additional controller and do all that stuff. We started to interoperate with Microsoft. And then Microsoft also started to change to open the standards and so. And we went further and started with the exchange interoperability, hiring Julian as CTO, with taking the OpenChange project and making it grow. And yeah, that's basically what is this talk about how we struggle to dive into this world. So we had this experience in a completely different technologies. We have when we started this, we will never have thought that we were going to be using Outlook, because we were Linux guys. We were used to the classic internet open protocols like POP, SMTP, IMAP, and so if someone who has tell us to, okay, you are going to be dealing with Outlook and this MAPI protocol from Microsoft, it was like a new world for us with a lot of technologies we didn't have too many experience. So we see this exchange like an ocean full of, we have soundtrack. Because this ocean is full of different protocols that were new for us. But luckily, as Microsoft started to be more open, because when Julian started this project, he was like doing reverse engineering and all that stuff. But with this, it's easy, because if you dive into the ocean, at least you need some protection, because you can find sharks. If you don't have the specifications, will be like this, like dealing with the without the cage, But then when we start dealing with these open source technologies to implement that, more than an ocean, you have like different actors in that. So I see this more like a jungle. So this is this is the open source exchange jungle, full of different actors. Samba, of course. Well, you have some schema. With the relationship that the different protocols are used in the different case, because we need to support the different use case for this, like mobile devices, like webmail clients, and well, if you use Samba mostly for Active Directory, yes and no. In the original approach, when we started Zentyal server, which is, by the way, a product that still exists. I mean, it's deployed in hundreds of customers, and community has dozens of thousands of users all around the world. We started with Samba 3, doing just basically SMB protocols. And then with Zentyal 3.0 onwards, also Active Directory. But for the things that matter now, which is our focus in Exchange, we're using Samba basically for two things. For all the Active Directory thing, to retrieve the contacts and for the authentication and so, but also OpenChange needs Samba to work, because the RPC implementation is on Samba. So we have this endpoint mapper, so OpenChange is an endpoint of this RPC thing. It's not a standalone daemon, it's like a fork of the Samba process. But the thing is, well, Microsoft is like a different thing, but it's one company controlling all the Exchange technology and the clients and the Outlook. But now in the open source world, we need to deal with different projects. Just to don't reinvent the wheel, we need to reuse the existing projects, implementing all the stuff. So we need to survive in this ecosystem, in this jungle. So this is like, we think it's going to be to survive in the jungle, like cutting the grasses with the swords. But this is like the idea, like we are heroes, but then this is what really happens sometimes. We find we find the bugs. But no problem. You find a bug, you just eat it. So, so we are going to show you some of our tactics or tools to survive and to deal with this. So we can start with the bugs. First, you need to be noticed that there are bugs. So we use Apport. I don't know if you have heard of this. It's the regular tool in Ubuntu to when an application crashes, it generates a dump of all the contents on the memory and so you can retrace that. So in all deployments, either Zentyal server or cloud, we submit those crashes. We put them in Redmine, which is the platform we use to track all the bugs. We have the possibility to retrace using GDB just to the bug. And very important as well, we have some scripts to have some duplicates detection. So we can prioritize, like, OK, this crash has much more duplicated. So it's very, it's important to deal with it. And if a crash comes from an older version and there has no duplicates, we can safely assume that it's fixed already. If it doesn't appear again, so we just close the ticket and so. And also we have some tools to attach to the open change running process with GDB to see what's going on under the hood. And important or related with this protocol analysis stuff, you know that this is all about sharks because we use, well, we don't have too much experience with Microsoft Message Analyzer, but probably we have tried sometimes, and probably we could use it, but we use the default open source software for this, which is Wireshark, to capture the traffic. And also Wireshark, apart from the interface, has some command line tool, which is T-Shark, and we have done a very nice thing with that, which is we have a daemon that is running in the background, and when the Samba process crashes, automatically starts to capture. So you can have the capture of the relevant moment where the problem is occurring. And we also have a tool which is RPC extract that from a capture done in pickup format, no matter if it's with Wireshark or TCP dump or wherever, we can extract all the MAPI protocol messages in a format like this. This is an open folder request and the property recipients and all the stuff. But sometimes it's more useful, instead of getting the whole process, to just go to the client and see directly the values. We have two tools for this. MFC Map is a tool that is connects to a running Outlook, but Outlook Spy is even better because it integrates in the Outlook interface itself. So you just have an open message and you click on there is a new tab, Outlook Spy in the Outlook interface. So you click and you can see the properties of the message, the recipient table, all that stuff. Okay, so this is how we try to deal with the bug fixing and so, but what are we working on really? So some of the features we've been lately have been missing implementations. Well, this is mostly about OpenChange and Sogo, which are the two core products of where all the groupware stuff is implemented. So fixes in calendar event and invitations, like optional attendees not receiving, embedded messages, sharing messages or calendars. Also issues with folder synchronization, special folders like drafts, sync issues, global address list. Notifications, for this topic there is a series of articles by Julian in that URL. This is a very interesting topic because it's the biggest development for a missing feature we've done. Also the things like fixes in the RTF parsers for mails with rich format. REST API, very interesting because this allows you to write a backend for any other, like instead of using Sogo, using Collab or Bluemine, or in fact we have some speakers from those companies here. and probably some of them have been working on this. And yeah, a lot of minor stuff like, okay, the wedding anniversary is not implemented, or the importance. And how we work. For deploying the environments, we use different technologies. With Vagrant, we can, on our development laptops, just use VirtualBox to develop the environment, but when we want to deploy in production, we have this Vagrant Proxmox. Proxmox is a layer on top of KVM for virtualization. And there is, we haven't tried very deeply yet, but there is also a Vagrant Azure that should work more or less out of the box with Microsoft Azure. And we also have our own tool that is Anste. We implemented a lot of years ago, mainly from Zentyal server, but now it's still useful for all these Zentyal Cloud and open chains. We will talk a bit more later. And also Docker, currently only for the REST backend, and of course we use Puppet for the deployments, either with one technology or other. And about testing, testing is very important for us. These are the different tools we use for testing. Anste is useful either for deploying or for testing. We use also the Samba WinTest for automating things like joining the domain. We have, and still have, of course, these SQL scripts to try to automate all the things in Outlook, but clearly know that these Microsoft guys have presented this mail sim here and looks very promising. We are for sure replacing this as soon as we can, because it's clearly better than SQL. SQL, I don't know if you know, but it's basically doing the clicks in the interface, recognizing the images. It's like taking a screenshot of the, so you have a script that instead of being like this, you have click on this PNG file, which is a screenshot of the button, a region of the screen. That's very inconvenient because you have to redo all the screenshots if you want to repeat the test, for example, in Windows XP or in Windows 8, because the look of the buttons and the interface is completely different. So to automate Outlook, definitely something like MailSync will be much better. And we also use Jenkins as a continuous integration platform, integrated with all these Jenkins to run all the Anste tests with the SQL and so. So Anste is basically a tool, a layer on top of libvirt for KVM as well. It powers on the virtual machines, configures the IP addresses and which packages to install, which scripts to run. We do all the configuration in a YAML format, like kind of simplified XML. And we create the base images with all the packages installed already. Also, we use it to gather all the results. We can have a simple, oops. Problem with the sound on the slides. So this is very basically HTML result, but we can also output to JUnit format to integrate with Jenkins or with any other tool. Okay. Now we can talk about the team. And how our A team works. The thing is, maybe it's not very good to say about yourself, but we have a real top-notch team because, for example, lately, recently, there was some stats about GitHub usage in Spain, and the stats in Zaragoza revealed that from the top GitHub more active and contributing users in Zaragoza, 6 out of 10 were developers of the Zentyal team. So that's very encouraging for us, and we are very pleased to have so many good guys here. because yeah, probably Microsoft can hire the best engineers in the world, but we can't complain about the level we have here. So basically how we work. On GitHub we have, for open change, we have 2 forks. We have the the main open change one, and also the Zentyal fork, where we can merge from one to another and also experiment with some custom stuff between passing to the other. And very important, the integration we are doing with GitHub and Jenkins, also with other continuous integration tools like Travis, but this is very nice because before merging a pull request, we are passing all the security tests, and so that way, until we don't get the green tick on the GitHub interface, we don't merge, and we are sure that there are no regressions, and so we are also very active with the code reviews or pull requests. We usually don't merge anything until at least 2 developers give the approve, and we work also doing pair programming, which well, when you are like hitting your face to the wall with some strange outlook behavior and things like that, you know, 4 eyes can see a lot more than 2 usually. Okay, so I don't have prepared any demo for this, but tomorrow you can see all this product working with. That guy is Mateo. Mateo is our product owner, and tomorrow after lunch he will be doing a demo of this technology, like the features we're working on, like notifications and so. But if you are interested in the technical stuff, like how we use Outlook Spy, Wireshark, RPC Extract, anything, we can deploy on any table or Zentyal lab, like the Microsoft guys have the interoperability lab. So you just ping me, or maybe even other people from the team, and you say, I'm interested in this, and I want to see this, and I will be sharing my time with you. Even if you are staying more time in Zaragoza, because I've heard that people are here until Sunday, maybe even we can have a hack party or whatever. So, questions?
Yeah, I have a question belonging to Open Change, because it's announced as an exchange replacement, and I'm missing the public folder. Is there something coming in the future? Public folder and shared folder?
Yeah, it's definitely something in the roadmap, but I can't give you a date. I mean, maybe you can talk with Mateo tomorrow, which is the product. He prioritizes stuff and so.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, definitely, public folder is something that is not currently implemented, but is definitely on our radar.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Anything else? Or are you hungry already? We have the lunch break now. So if there are no more questions, these 15 minutes that are left, we can go to get the first rows for the food. Okay, thank you.